Imagine you are an all-powerful, immortal deity.
Okay, I'm imagining it.
Right. So you have been sitting in this, like, beautiful celestial paradise, perfectly content for literally 56 billion years.
That is quite a long time to just sit there.
It is. But right now, you are looking down at some stressed out human, sweating over a mortgage payment, fighting off a cold, just generally struggling through a random Tuesday.
Right.
And you, the immortal deity, are furiously jealous of them.
It sounds so backwards, but yeah.
It really does. Welcome to the deep dive, everyone. Today we have one of the most unusual combinations of sources we've ever put on the desk.
Honestly, it's a completely wild stack of material this time.
Yeah, and we are going to use it to completely dismantle the traditional hierarchy of gods and mortals. Okay, let's unpack this. What exactly are we looking at today?
Well, on one hand, we are looking at the academic research of Choi Won-hyuk.
Yeah.
He focuses a lot on cyclical economies and Donhack philosophy.
Which was like a major 19th century Korean Neo-Confucian and social movement, right?
Exactly, yeah.
Yeah.
And he also writes about the mechanics of yin and yang. So we pair his work with this incredibly dense, deeply philosophical lecture transcript focused on Daesun Jinriho.
And for those tuning in who might be unfamiliar, Daesun Jinriho is a modern Korean new religious movement. It emerged in the 20th century.
Right, it's a fascinating movement. But then, rounding out our sources, we literally just have a printed out YouTube sign-in page.
I'm still laughing at that, actually.
Yeah.
I mean, I have to assume whoever compiled our research hit a login wall while trying to, stream this exact Daesun lecture online.
That has to be it.
And somehow the error page just ended up in our source pile.
It's amazing.
But, in a weird way, it kind of fits the theme of what we are doing today. Because we are basically trying to bypass a firewall in human thinking.
Oh, that's a great way to put it.
Right, because in most global religions, humans and spirits are locked in this very rigid master-servant dynamic.
Always. It's so deeply ingrained in us.
Yeah, but today, we are exploring a worldview where they are absolute equals, like locked in a cosmic partnership.
And the gravity of that shift is really profound when you think about it. Just think about the architecture of almost every major world religion.
It's all vertical.
Exactly, it's vertical. The traditional worldview always positions humans as fundamentally subordinate. The default state of humanity is, well, it's framed as fragile, flawed, and constantly looking upward.
Right, you look up at angels, you look up at deities.
You look up at a creator.
Yeah, just hoping for salvation or forgiveness or, just a little bit of guidance from above.
But Choi Won-hyuk's analysis of Daesun thought and this lecture transcript we were examining, they just completely removed that vertical ladder entirely.
Which brings up a mechanical problem for me right away.
Okay, what's that?
If you flatten the ladder, right, and gods, which are referred to as Shin in the text, if they are perfectly equal to humans, how do they even interact?
Ah, I see what you mean.
Because if they are equals, that usually implies they are the same. But an immortal spirit and a mortal human clearly aren't the same thing,
No, they're not the same at all. And that is exactly where the concept of yin and yang becomes the crucial mechanism here.
Oh, okay. So they aren't the same, but they balance each other out.
Precisely. In this worldview, gods and humans are not master and servant. They are yin and yang. They are equal, but they possess entirely opposite natures that perfectly complement each other.
Got it.
And the source material maps this out using some very specific elemental and color analogies to explain how it works. So humans represent yang.
Which means we are the active force, because yang is associated with fire, the color red, visibility, and above all, like constant chaotic change.
Yes, constant change. And spirits represent yin. Yin is associated with water, the color blue, invisibility, and a state of being completely unchanging.
Okay, so you put those two concepts next to each other, and you really see the interdependence.
Yeah, the text actually uses the biological analogy of a man and a woman creating a child. Neither one can create new life in isolation, right?
Right, obviously.
So in the exact same way, neither a spirit nor a human can create cosmic progress alone. The universe fundamentally requires both the active, visible chaos of the human and the still, invisible structure of the spirit.
Okay, so if humans and spirits are equal but opposite, and they need each other to create progress, I still keep getting stuck on the why of it all.
The motivation part.
Yeah, exactly. If I'm an immortal spirit, this deep, still blue water, why would I actually need a mortal human?
Right.
Like, if I'm floating in some celestial realm without any physical needs, I shouldn't require a human down on Earth dealing with, traffic and taxes to help me do anything.
It's a fair point,
Mm.
but the text has a really fascinating way of explaining that dependency, and it basically hinges on the difference between existing and evolving.
Okay, break that down for me.
Think of a spirit as a seed. A seed is perfectly stable. It's protected by its shell. It doesn't require maintenance, and it can sit on a shelf in a climate-controlled room for 1,000 years without decaying.
So it's essentially immortal.
Exactly. It's immortal, it's safe, it's perfect.
But I mean, a seed sitting on a shelf isn't doing anything. It's safe, yeah, but it's completely stagnant.
And that is the tragedy of the spirit in this framework. A seed on a shelf can never, on its own, grow into a tree.
Ah.
To become a sprout, that seed has to be thrust into the dirt. It has to endure the dark, the elements, the wind, the rain, hunger, and disease.
Which is a highly vulnerable, really painful state of being.
It is. And the text argues that the human is the sprout. We are the ones in the dirt.
Oh, wow. Which perfectly explains a term from the text that I couldn't stop thinking about. Ilshinilation.
Yes, Ilshiniloshin.
Yeah, it translates to daily renewal or constant daily change. Because we are in the dirt dealing with all these harsh elements, we are forced to adapt.
We have no choice.
Right. Our minds change thousands of times a day. We evolve because the environment demands it.
And that biological demand for survival, that is the engine of spiritual evolution, which leads to the most radical claim in the transcript.
Okay, here's where it gets really interesting, folks.
Spirits actually envy humans.
It's so crazy to think about. The invisible, immortal deities are jealous of us.
They are, because we possess a physical body, what they call a yukshin. Without a physical body, you just cannot experience the friction required to grow.
The physical body is basically the ultimate tool for spiritual cultivation.
Exactly. And the lecture backs this up with a really great story from early Buddhist scriptures, the Agamas. It really puts the timeline of this evolution into perspective.
Yeah, the text talks about a spirit sitting in the Tusita heaven.
And just for context for the listeners, the Tusita heaven is one of the celestial realms in Buddhist cosmology. It's a place where divine beings reside in immense pleasure and comfort before they are potentially reborn.
Right. So you have this divine being sitting in this Tusita heaven for 56 billion years. 56 billion.
56 billion. And in all that time, because they have no physical body and absolutely no friction to deal with, they might make absolutely zero spiritual progress.
Nothing at all. They're perfectly comfortable, but they are frozen in amber.
Yeah. But meanwhile, Siddhartha Gautama takes on a human body, enters this messy, disease-ridden, painful world, and achieves complete enlightenment in just 6 years.
The contrast there is staggering.
6 years versus 56 billion.
Yeah, 6 years of human friction achieves what 56 billion years of celestial comfort cannot. The human world, despite all of its suffering and heartbreak, it is positioned as the ultimate land of opportunity in the entire cosmos.
It's the only theater where rapid evolution is even possible.
Precisely.
Okay, I see the logic, I really do.
Yeah.
But I have a major bone to pick with the mechanics of this system.
Oh, let's hear it.
Well, if taking on a human body is this incredible high-stakes opportunity for spiritual evolution, why do we arrive completely clueless?
Ah, the amnesia. Yeah. The text introduces the concept of mangak, which means amnesia or oblivion. So when the seed goes into the dirt to become a sprout, the spirit forgets absolutely everything about its past existence.
Right.
We are dropped into the most important test of our existence, and our memories are completely wiped.
The transcript uses a rather striking visual for this, actually. It says that a human is born with a question mark for a face.
A question mark for a face,
You arrive entirely disoriented.
which just feels like a catastrophic design flaw. Let's debate this a bit, because if the goal is rapid spiritual growth, wouldn't we make much better choices if we remembered our past wisdom?
You would think so, right?
Yeah, like even if we didn't remember everything, just retaining a tiny bit of moral insight from our past lives could prevent massive historical atrocities. If I knew the terrible mistakes I made in my last 3 lives, I wouldn't repeat them.
Seems like common sense.
Right, a total memory wipe just seems so counterproductive to evolution.
Well, it seems counterproductive if you view memory purely as an asset. But the text argues that memory, on a cosmic timescale, is actually a crushing liability.
A liability? How so?
It uses this actor analogy to reframe why Mangak is necessary. So imagine a legendary actor who has spent say 5 years deeply immersed in playing a very intense role.
Like a tragic military commander or something.
Exactly, a tragic military commander. They have adopted the heavy emotional baggage, the trauma, and the specific worldview of that character.
So they carry that weight off the stage. It infects their daily life.
Now imagine they are cast in a new, completely different role, perhaps a lighthearted romantic lead.
Okay.
If they walk onto the new set, but are still carrying the memories, the trauma, and the instincts of commanding a bloody battlefield, the performance will completely fail.
Oh,
They cannot fully inhabit the present reality because they are tethered to the past one.
I understand the metaphor, but applying that to thousands of lifetimes feels terrifying, actually.
And that is exactly the point. The transcript really asks you to consider the sheer psychological weight of immortality.
Oh.
If humans remember their thousands of past lives, think about what you would be carrying. You would remember thousands of past spouses.
Oh my God.
You would remember watching thousands of your children die. You would hold the grief of 1,000 lifetimes, the attachments, the bitter grudges, the unresolved traumas.
That's just too much.
If you retained all of that, you would be utterly paralyzed. You wouldn't even be able to get out of bed, let alone focus on the specific lessons you need to learn in this current physical body.
When you put it like that, I mean, the amnesia isn't a punishment for being mortal at all. It is a profound privilege.
It really is.
It's basically the universe giving us a firewall against our own history. Mangak is the ultimate blank slate that allows us to focus entirely on the present role without being just crushed by the weight of eternity.
It's a functional necessity for the sprout to grow. You can only react to the dirt you are currently planted in.
Okay, that makes a lot of sense. So humans are wandering around with a question mark face. We are protected by amnesia, and we are doing all the heavy lifting, sweating, and changing in the dirt.
Yes.
So what exactly is the spirit's job in this partnership? Because if we are the active yang doing all the evolving, what is the unchanging yin actually contributing?
Well, because humans are so chaotic, because we change our minds constantly and are easily swayed by emotion and biological needs, we require an anchor.
We need some stability.
Exactly. The spirits provide that unchanging truth, the absolute cosmic law. But the text makes it explicitly clear that they are incredibly strict in how they apply it.
Strict how?
The analogy used in the lecture is Chusang, which translates to the cold, unforgiving autumn frost.
Autumn frost. Why autumn frost specifically?
Think about the progression of seasons, right? A spring breeze is gentle and accommodating. It encourages everything to grow, weeds and flowers alike. It doesn't judge at all.
Right, spring is forgiving.
But the autumn frost is merciless. It descends and immediately kills off anything that hasn't fully matured. It enforces a strict binary standard of readiness.
Wow.
Spirits operate with this exact kind of strictness. They do not possess flexibility, and they do not possess any human sympathy.
The lecture uses this brilliant vending machine analogy to explain this lack of sympathy, and I really want to break down the mechanics of it.
Oh, the vending machine is such a good analogy.
It's so clear. So imagine you're incredibly thirsty, and you stand in front of a vending machine. The drink you need costs 21.
Okay.
You dig through your pockets, and you realize you only have 10 won. Now, if you turn to another human standing next to you, they might see you struggling.
Yeah, they might feel bad for you.
Exactly. They might have what the text calls injung, compassion or human sympathy. They might just hand you the missing 10 won or buy the drink for you entirely.
Because humans bend the rules for each other all the time based on emotion.
Right. But a spirit is the vending machine. A spirit will never give you the drink out of pity. If the absolute cosmic law dictates the price is 21 and you only put in 10 won, the machine just stares at you.
It doesn't care.
Not at all. You can cry, you can beg, you can explain that you're having a terrible day. The machine gives exactly what is earned and not a single drop more.
Which really forces us to ask a difficult question.
Yeah.
How do you actually engage with a partner that cold?
Right.
If they're unfeeling vending machines, how is this even a cosmic partnership? How do humans extract what they need from the spirit realm?
Well, the currency you need to operate the machine isn't money, right? It's Zhongsong.
Yes, Zhongsvang. It translates to deep, genuine sincerity, but it's a lot more than just a fleeting feeling. It is agonizing, sustained effort.
It's the real work.
The text provides a very relatable example for anyone who has ever done academic or creative work.
Imagine you were struggling to write a complex thesis paper.
Oh, I've been there. We all have. You are hitting a wall, you're agonizing over the structure, putting in 100% of your mental and emotional effort to solve this problem.
Yeah.
You are putting your 10-1 of human effort into the machine with absolute, unwavering sincerity.
And because the human is supplying the physical friction, that's when the spirit completes the transaction.
Precisely. When a spirit witnesses that level of pure, unadulterated physical and mental effort, they match it.
They match it.
The text describes this moment of reward as an autobike delivery.
Like a motorcycle delivery.
Yeah. It is a sudden, automatic, real-time burst of inspiration that drops directly into your mind. That aha moment, that sudden clarity where the complex problem suddenly just makes sense.
Oh, man.
That is the invisible yin partner handing you the missing 10-1.
That is such a cool way to look at it. But there is a massive warning attached to this transaction in the text.
Yes, there is. A very big catch.
The text makes it clear that receiving this inspiration is actually a test of the partnership. So let's say you are sitting at your desk, agonizing over your thesis, and suddenly that brilliant idea hits you. The autobike delivers the insight.
Okay.
If you lean back in your chair and think, wow, I am a genius, I'm so smart for figuring this out all by myself, you have failed the test.
Completely failed.
Yeah.
You have fundamentally misunderstood the dynamic of your own existence.
Yeah, the spirits will immediately recognize your lack of gratitude. They will see that you are taking full credit for a joint effort and basically failing to acknowledge their unseen contribution.
And the punishment for that is swift.
They just cut you off.
Yep. They simply cut you off. The vending machine unplugs. You lose access to that cosmic intuition entirely because you broke the trust of the partnership.
It really highlights the fragility of this symbiotic relationship. The human provides the messy struggle, the action, and the physical medium. The spirit provides the pure guiding insight. But if the human claims entirely independent victory, the bridge between yin and yang just collapses.
It does. And this brings us to a really practical problem with this entire philosophy.
Okay, what's that?
Well, you have spirits who operate like cold, unforgiving autumn frost, and you have humans who are messy, emotional, and very prone to error.
Sounds like a recipe for disaster.
It is. That combination inevitably leads to massive friction. If the spirits are constantly frustrated by our chaotic nature and we are constantly exhausted by their unyielding strictness, how does this partnership not just explode?
Yeah, how do mortals and vending machines actually resolve their differences?
This is where we reach the absolute pinnacle of Daesun thought presented in the lecture. The concept of Hewan Sangzang.
Hewan Sangzang.
Yes, which translates to the resolution of grievances and mutual beneficence. Now, in everyday practice, Hewan Sangzang is usually applied to human-to-human relationships.
Like forgiving a neighbor who wronged you.
Exactly. Or even healing historical traumas between rival nations. But the lecturer here applies it on a cosmic scale. It is about resolving the deep-seated grievances between spirits and humans.
But how does a human resolve a grievance with an invisible spirit? I mean, we can't exactly sit them down for couples therapy.
No, definitely not.
So what is the actual mechanism for this resolution?
The resolution happens through a profound mutual acceptance of each other's limitations. They must truly understand each other's fundamentally different natures.
Okay.
The spirit, as the absolute law, has to accept that the human is going to make mistakes. They will get distracted and be driven by biological imperatives.
Because we're in the dirt.
Right. And the human has to accept that the spirit cannot bend the rules of the universe just because the human is tired or suffering. The grievance is resolved when the human stops fighting the strictness of reality and the spirit stops condemning the messiness of the human condition.
What really struck me about this mechanism is how it completely validates the human experience.
It really does.
Because in a lot of ascetic traditions, the physical body and its desires are framed as traps. You are told to transcend your bodily needs, to deny your hunger, to suppress your earthly wants.
Deny the flesh.
Exactly. But this text argues that spirits actually require our physical desires. The lecture specifically mentions hui hoshi kosek, which refers to the desire for good clothing, good food, and physical intimacy.
Because without those desires, the biological engine stops running entirely.
Exactly. If the human didn't desire food, the sprout would just wither and die in the dirt. If the human didn't desire connection and intimacy, the cycle of life would end. and the spirits would have no physical vessels to partner with at all.
They'd be stuck on the shelf.
Right? The universe needs our messy, worldly desires because they fuel the body, and the body's the engine of spiritual evolution.
And when you combine the strict, unchanging truth of the spirit with the adaptable, passionate, desiring emotion of the human, you don't get a hierarchy.
You get a partnership.
You get a perfect Taijitu. That's the traditional yin-yang symbol. It forms a perfect dynamic circle of existence where neither half is superior and both are entirely necessary.
Man. So bringing this all together for you listening, this worldview isn't just a fascinating piece of Eastern philosophy. It is profoundly empowering.
Absolutely.
You are not some lowly servant at the bottom of a cosmic ladder just waiting to be judged, punished, or saved by a distant deity. You are the universe's most vital engine of change.
You're the sprout.
You are the sprout doing the incredibly hard, painful work of growing in the dirt, and the entire spiritual realm is watching you, relying on you, and frankly, envying the opportunity you have right now in that physical body.
It really reframes every mundane challenge you face. Your daily struggles, the stress, the adaptation, the friction, they aren't punishments.
No.
They are the exact currency required to generate cosmic progress. You are doing the heavy lifting the universe simply cannot do on its own.
And we want to leave you with a final thought to mull over as you go about the rest of your day. Think about your last great shower thought, or, that sudden burst of intuition that solved a problem you had been agonizing over at work or in a personal relationship.
Yeah, based on the mechanics of the partnership we've explored today, consider this. What if that wasn't just your brain's neurons firing randomly in the background?
What if that was a direct, real-time message from a frustrated, invisible partner?
Exactly.
What if you had been putting your 10-1 of painful, sincere effort into the cosmic vending machine for weeks, and that sudden flash of insight was your invisible yin partner finally handing you the missing 10-1?
Are any of your best ideas truly 100% yours alone?
Or are you actually operating right now as half of a cosmic team? Next time you have a brilliant idea, maybe take a second to whisper a quiet thank you to the vending machine.